welcome back. So, in our last video we did the Riva oil catch can. This video I'm going to show you how to install an aftermarket intake. There are many brands out there. I've chosen WORX. Let's get into it. So in our last video we capped off the breather hose to the intake here, standard intake. I didn't need to, that was simply for you guys, as I already have a aftermarket intake. This is just a reinstall to show you guys how to install. So first things first, let's take off the hose clamps from the supercharger and from the plastic intake pipe here. Without the Riva oil catch can, you end up with oil all through here. Let's get some better light. But this is not even bad, they're usually really bad. This all gets coated in oil, then through into the supercharger, through the intercooler, out the intercooler, in through the throttle body, through the intake manifold, and then in your combustion chamber. Oil doesn't burn very well, so robbing you of horsepower, along with the efficiency to cool down the air in the intercooler. So your best bet to eliminate this is to actually install that Riva catch can from new. If you've already got several hours on it, you're going to want to obviously discard this if you're installing an aftermarket intake. You're going to want to clean all your intake system and that out, because oil will already be through there. You can do that simply by removing it, using degreaser and stuff in there, washing it out, letting it dry properly, and reinstalling. I've already done that because I did this a long time ago. Both these videos are just a reinstall of what I already had, simply to make an install video for you guys. Okay, so with the WORX aftermarket intake, what you get in the box is your silicone pipe, an adapter, your filter, these two hose clamps. That fixes all that together. A bracket which goes into any one of these threaded holes here to help support it from bouncing around, a mini filter, and a bar. This we don't use because we've installed a Riva catch can, but I assume that this is for your factory hose that comes off the PCV valve. Like so. But if you intend on using this, I can guarantee you're going to end up with oil in your hole. So there's one place for that, and that's the bin. Now, I fit this and the bracket together first loosely until that slips onto the supercharger. Once it's on the supercharger, you can find where it's comfortable, where that can then pivot for you to install this mounting bracket. I've chosen to drill a hole right here, and that way my bracket will support my filter to this right hand side here. Now the reason I chose a WORX over other brands is they are just a short 90 like this, and then the filter obviously sits right there, directly straight up and down. However, that puts that very low in the hull, and In the past, I've had 2 SEADOOs now with the exhaust pipe just pop off, which leaves you with a hole about so big. That water just comes gushing in and your ski starts sinking. The back obviously goes down first, and when that happens, if you're not quick enough or close enough to shore, with a short elbow like that, before you know it, your engine will be drinking water. Now, this isn't much higher, but it's a little bit higher. Whether that gives me an extra 30 seconds to get ashore, I don't know. But that's what I've chosen. Pulling the aftermarket intake. Got my hose clamp on here already. Just going to slip down here underneath the wiring and onto the supercharger. So when drilling this hole, I've ensured that this is inside my rubber seal that goes on the deck. So they supply you with this dome Allen bolt, like so. So for me, I'm going to push this on now. Okay, so just nip that. Okay, now that that's in there, don't do anything up tight yet, just nip it enough so it doesn't fall off, because you're going to have to play with this, and that to get it to sit right. So mine's roughly right now. And I'm just gonna lightly nip this. Until I'm comfortable with where this angle is. Obviously you can rotate this as well. Lightly nip that. Now what I'm being careful with is that my filter is not touching any of this and is not bouncing off the side of the hull. So I can fit my fingers in behind there and somewhat there. So I'm happy with that where that is. I'm going to nip that up. Okay. And just reassure that the silicone intake pipe is square up against the supercharger, and we can nip that up. Cool. Now that we've tightened these and happy with where it sits, making sure that the filter is not touching anything like the cabling here in cable tie and the other side of the hull. We're going to tighten up these. Okay, that completes this video. I hope it's helped you guys in some way or another, And remember, as I always say, I'm not a professional, this is only a guide. And thank you for watching these videos. I'll see you guys on the next one.